Good morning and top of the day to you fine citizens out there in YouTube land. This is Ricky, the low card enthusiast from North Carolina, coming at you another video. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome back to my channel. Well, I mentioned last video I went to the card shop and got a couple cards. We'll show them later, but yesterday, you know how you get in Facebook, you get like 2 or 3 notifications down there on your thing on Marketplace. I don't usually look on Marketplace unless I'm specifically looking for something. But I seen I had 3 or 4 notifications on Marketplace. So I was just looking through there, and I don't know why they're there. But one thing, well, there was about 4 things, and one of them I really liked. I said, yeah, I want that, and I got to looking at it, and I said, oh man. It was something wrong with it, and I'll get into that. But, you know, there's always a stigma. I think that's the word I want to use, a stigma. And anything you collect or anything you have, there's always something that people look down on what you have in a collectible or anything or something you have that you do. And people try to say this is wrong with that. And I have something, I collect records. There's something wrong with the way you do something with records, with your equipment or the records, or I have I told you about my geckos I have. I started calling them geckos, and my wife said, they're not geckos, that's the insurance company. So then I call them geckos, and now I call them geekos. So I just call them geekos now. They're doing fine. They're in the cage behind you. But there's a stigma to that. And it's like you starting a war with China with what I'm doing with these geckos. But they're fine. But anyway, there's a stigma with the baseball card world, what I'm doing. And I don't care. It's what I like. And I'm not doing, and I'll show you, I'll get into it. It's not, what I'm doing is I'm not reselling what I'm buying. So that makes a difference, and I'm not hiding it, and I'm not trying to fool someone down the road because they're graded or sophisticated. You know what I mean. But anyway, I bought this card summer before last, I think, and it's trimmed, and I was on the fence about getting it, but I was at the card shop in Raleigh, and Raleigh's kind of out of my way. But I was there, and it was so beautiful. There was no creases or dings or anything. It was just so beautiful. It was trimmed, and there's nothing missing as far as words or anything. And I said then I was, you know, as long as there's no words missing, I would have it. And it was coming home with me. So there's no words on the back missing. It's just trimmed a little bit to make it look better. You know, and I can live with it. And it's one of my favorite cards. And what does it say? Evidence, I think it says evidence of trimming. I don't have my specs with me. You guys can read it. Pretty sure it says evidence of trimming, that's what it says. But yeah, I love this card. And I can live with it, man. Not planning on selling it. And I said, yeah, I wouldn't have a card that had the words cut off or anything. And yesterday, like I say, I was looking on Marketplace and found this card that I really wanted, and it was in Wake Forest, which is about an hour's drive, really about 45 minutes, but with the traffic, good God, it's a 2-lane road from Durham, which is my hometown, and you get to Durham, it's a 2-lane road to Wake Forest, and it's just backed up traffic. It's either backed up or stop and go at stoplights. Crazy. And it took me an hour and a half to get there and pick up this card. And I've been wanting a T206 card. I had a couple in my old collection, Hall of Famers, but I've been wanting a Hall of Famer. I didn't want a common. And they got a collection in my card shop that I've been going to, Cards at the Cages, which I don't know if I've told y'all, they are opening up another card shop in Burlington, which is about 8 or 9, 7 or 8, well, depends on where they're at in Burlington, about 8 or 9 minutes from me. instead of 38 minutes, it's 8 or 9 minutes. Could be closer. Could be a minute or two further, but yeah, yay. So my wife hates it. My new hangout. And so anyway, that's good news. And I don't know if I told you about the guy that I was talking about, that the tall guy with the glasses that was kind of mysteriously gone for like 3 or 4 months. And I was going to get to the bottom of it. Did I tell you about that? I don't know. I'll tell you again, but real quick. But I know a friend of mine said, he could have had something personal that they didn't want to, divulge about. And sure enough, I seen him time before last. I went up there. He had a cane, and I asked him, what's going on, man? I missed you. He said, I got in a wreck, man, broke my back. And he was walking with a cane, and he was going to have surgery, I think, or had surgery. I think he was going to have surgery, and or maybe he had it. But anyway, when they opened up this new shop in Burlington, I asked the guy, he said, this guy right here is going to run it. And I asked him what about the tall guy. I need to find out his name, man. What about the tall guy with glasses? He said, well, he's going to be back and forth. So that's good news, man. And anyway, yeah, it's a lot of traffic going up to Wake Forest, and to get this card, man. And I'm happy with it. And some of you guys may look down on it, and I'm not going to plan on selling it or trading it, so it's going to stick with me. So, it's trimmed. And the bottom of the car, it's a T206. And the bottom of the card is trimmed, and the name is halfway trimmed off. And I can live with it. And I got it for a cheap price, being a Hall of Famer. And I just love looking at it. And I love the, let me show you what I got. Keep running my mouth. It's a Rube Marquard, Hall of Famer. I think it says like evidence, minimum evidence, minimum not required, something like that. And I know I'm not going to be able to read it. Yeah, I didn't bring my specs with me. Maybe you can see it. Rube Marquard, Hall of Famer. Played 18 seasons, pitched for 18 seasons. But you can see it, a little bit of the name. You can make out Marquard. So I'm happy with it, man. The price I had. I just can't afford Hall of Fame T206s. So any way I can get them, and there's no creases or anything on it. I just love it, man. I just love I love his pose on it. He's just like, oh, duh, what's next? I love it. And it's got the sweet corporal background, excuse me. But yeah, I sold a few records to get this. I didn't have the cash. I got it sitting up on my coffee table where I can look at it. I like it, even though the name is trimmed. I don't care. I got it for cheap. I sold some records to get it, so I don't miss those records. And that's it. My Rube Marquard Hall of Fame T206. And the guy I got it from, he was probably in his early 70s. He might have been 75. He looked real fit. He said he worked for ESPN for like 22 years behind the scenes. I don't know what he did. I think he told me something what he did, but like behind the scenes at ESPN. And he's a really big sports guy. And he knew a lot about cards and stuff and sports. And told me he would be on the lookout for some, lower tier guys, you know, the Hall of Famers, you know, he was mentioned, you know, a bunch of them, you know, like this one, that I could get cheaper, you know, instead of going for the Cobbs and stuff like that, and Cy Youngs and, you know, cars like that. He could get me cheap, maybe something wrong with them or low grade. So I told him, yeah, man, look, be on the lookout. And sell small records, add it to my budget, add it to my allowance for the month, and maybe I could come up with a couple. So anyway, thought I'd bring you that, and man, I'm thrilled over it. And even though it's trimmed, hey, get what you got to get, do what you got to do, man. So I'm thrilled with it. Of course, I'd like the name to be there. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'll take what I can get. So anyway, thought I'd bring you that. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. And you guys have a great day.